and welcome to Makeup Chats with Dev and M. Today we're going to do a get ready with me, as us. So we're going to start with our eye makeup so that we can do that first, and if there's any fallout or anything, we can clean it away and not have any problems with it mixing into our foundation or whatnot.
I'm going to start with my eyebrows because I have caterpillars that grow on my face and they need a little brow gel.
So today we're both using the little mini Natasha Denona palettes, and I'm using Layla.
I'll be using the Camel palette by Natasha Denona, but I'll get started in that in a second. Right now I'm just using the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. And I really like this one because it holds my brows in place really well because I have a lot of brows that like to be unruly. But it's almost empty, so I'm currently pulled the stopper out so that way I could get to the product and finish it up.
And I'm just putting a little concealer on my eyes as a base so that it gives the color more of a background so that it lays on the color that I want it to be.
So Devin, how did you get into makeup?
Well, see, in high school just wore mascara and like purple eyeliner, and then I went to college and discovered this thing called makeup because I had this random roommate who had like a trunk full of makeup. And she was like, look at all the fun things we can do with makeup. And I was like, no one ever taught me how to do this stuff. Lipstick, self-explanatory. Mascara is sort of self-explanatory. And then and then she's like, look, you can put like eyeshadow on, and this is how you do it. And look, you just watch YouTube videos and that's how you learn how to do it.
I had a lot of fun teaching you how to play with makeup so that I could get someone else to play with makeup with me because I didn't have a lot of people to play with makeup with. And then I found you in college and it was the best rooming situation because we got to share a bunk bed for 2 years. And it was a great time to get to know each other and get to know how to use makeup better and how to blend my foundation so that I didn't look orange. That was good. That was a good thing to learn.
Yeah. I learned how to like put on eyeshadow instead
I
of
will
just
say
like
blending skills, you surpassed me by so many levels.
Because I just sit here for hours and blend. But I mean,
currently, really like I've got my base going with my MAC paint pot in Painterly. It's currently in my project pan, which is why I'm going to try and use it. But it is one of the best eye bases that I've found.
You want to explain what project pan means? It sounds like a mission.
It is a mission for me. My project pan is to try and use up as many products as I can. Because I have an excess of makeup that I have purchased that I don't want to go bad and I want to get my money's worth out. But because I have so much, it's going to be kind of a challenge to get through as much as I can. And so my goal is to hit pan or get to the bottom of these products to try and use them as much as I can.
Yeah. I've never hit pan on any products. It's all her fault. I mean, not that I haven't hit pan, but that I have so much makeup.
All right, so now I'm going to go with the Natasha Denona palette. I did replace a couple of shades and then I moved them around. So if you're looking at it going, that's not a Natasha Denona palette, that would be why, is I moved some of the shades. And then I also replaced one of them with one of the shades from, I believe it's the Peak palette. But I pulled it out and put it in here because I liked the shimmery metallic of it. And so that's why it looks a little different and rearranged, because Natasha Denona's palettes have the little holes that you can pop them out with. so you can rearrange the shades. And I just blew Devin's mind.
Mine doesn't have that.
I don't know if the minis do. This is the 5-pan palette. So these are the full-size shades.
Oh.
I don't have a mini, so I don't know.
I mean, it looks like there's a dot in the middle that you could like pop the. Wow, I had no idea.
I'm so glad that I could blow your mind.
I still, well, that's like, what's the other one? The e.l.f. Lip pencils. The fact that there's sharpeners at the bottom, like, that's genius, and no one knows they're there.
So Devin and I were college roommates for 2 years. And then I moved back to Montana, and she did one more semester?
Yeah,
one more semester. And then she moved back to Florida. But yeah, we both moved back to our homes, and then still stayed in contact throughout the last, almost 3.5 years, 4 years.
You're just making us old, so.
What's that?
I said you're just making us old, so however
I know.
many years you want it to be.
It's 3.5 years since we have lived together, but we stayed in really close contact, and we constantly talked about makeup anyways, and so we figured, why not just put it on film? And A, it's fun for us to look back at, and B, hopefully get some entertainment out of this.
And learn something new. Maybe you didn't have a college roommate like Emily, or didn't go to college, or just want to learn about makeup. And we know a couple things. We at least have a lot of makeup, so that counts for something. And like, I went to Sephora the other day to get my free like birthday gift and check out all the new things. And my Sephora has testers right now, which is amazing. They just do it for you. And she was teaching me about primers and foundations, and how if you have a silicone-based primer, it's not going to work well with a water-based foundation. And I was like, science, it makes sense. So some days you just put on makeup and you're like, wait, this isn't as good as it looked the other day. And I'm like, probably the primer. Probably all has to do with which primer I put on.
I feel like primers is so like dependent on how your skin is, because I know my skin is very oily, and so like there's some days where it's the oil will just break down my primer, and then there's other days where I'm dry because it's Montana and it's super dry here, and so my skin will just dry out, and then that same primer that kept me matte the day before is now causing my skin to look weird. And so it's very dependent on the day a lot of times for me, on what primer is going to work.
Yeah, and we talked about that because the climate difference is, you watch a makeup video and they're like, oh, use this primer, it's wonderful. And I'm like, well, what climate are you in? Because it makes a difference. Because Emily's in dry Montana, and I'm over here in like the most humid, one of the most humid spots ever in Florida. And it can really make a difference based on season, based on climate, based on your skin type. Because when you think about it, makeup's just all a chemical reaction.
Makeup is very individual, and one of the things I find funny is there's a lot of products that work for Devin or that she really likes that I just don't have a preference for or don't work for me. And so it's kind of an interesting thing to get different opinions of how makeup works for each person, and hopefully we'll be able to kind of have certain products where we can both try them and see how they work and how they look, just to kind of give a comparison, so that way it's side by side of the exact same product, just used by two different people.
Yeah. Well, and we have different tastes too, because I love sparkles and she's over here my matte queen.
I have gotten into more glowy things, and I love a true metallic, like that's where it's at. In the right spots though. in the right
Yeah,
spots.
in the right spots. So I finished up my eyes. I used with the little Layla palette, I used this in the crease just to blend it out and do the nice transition. I used the darker shade and the purple shade in the corner, and then I just threw this one all over the top. So, all right, now, well, and then I like to throw a little bit of eyeshadow underneath, but if I do that before I put on concealer, I'm just gonna have to do it again. The concealer is gonna cover it.
Actually,
So
I am going to do a little bit of eyeliner while she's starting on her next step.
So I'm gonna go ahead and put on primer, and I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer.
And then I'm going to do just a little bit of eyeliner, but it's the Wet n Wild Skinny Tip eyeliner. And I really like this. It's super tiny because I've got small eyes and I don't have a lot of lid space. So if I do a lot of eyeliner, it just doesn't look very good on me. And so this is perfect because it's really, really, really tiny. Let's see. I don't know if that'll focus very well, but it's super, super small and it gives a very precise line.
I don't personally like eyeliner all that much. I do it occasionally, but that's when I'm like sitting there, the steadiest hand ever, and have all the time in the world. All right.
I've really liked eyeliner with COVID because wearing a mask all day, it's really nice because the only thing people are really seeing is my eyes up. And so I like having the eyeliner because it makes my eyes stand out just a smidge more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all about the eyes right now. All about the eyes. So, all right, now I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal 410 Infallible Fresh Wear Foundation. And I like the sponge, and I like it wet, opposed to Emily, who likes to keep her sponge dry, which is weird.
It is weird, but for some reason it just works better for me. And then I just do a little bit of the Primed and Peachy from Too Faced just in the T-zone, just because I'm oily and I like to keep a little bit of it nice and shine free. But then on the opposite, then add just a little bit of the L'Oreal Visible Lift Serum Tint, kind of just where I want to highlight just on the tops of my cheekbones. And this is the closest thing to the Charlotte Tilbury. Sorry, there's a lot of glare on there. The Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is the closest thing I found, and I wear it in the shade Rose. I apologize if you can hear my dog. He's running around in the background.
He's beautiful.
He is. He's a German Shepherd Golden Retriever, and he's nothing but 80 pounds of love. We got him from the pound almost a year ago. His gotcha day will be on the 6th. So
on the 6th of February?
Yeah.
Is when you got him?
Yeah.
Because Lucky's birthday is the 20th.
Aww.
She has the best birthday. She has 02202020.
That's cute.
So, on the camera, this foundation looks way too light, but it's not in person. Do I look like a ghost?
I think a little bit of bronzer is all that you need. So right now I'm putting on the Becca under eye corrector. It's just got like that peachy pink tone. And it's in the shade Light. It only comes in 2 shades, which is kind of unfortunate that there's not more shades to match a couple more people, but it is an under eye corrector, so it's not your concealer. So I guess it kind of makes sense, but it'd be nice if they came out with a few more shades personally. I'm just gonna stick that right underneath my eyes with my dry sponge. Oh, did you want to explain who Lucky was? Because Lucky is Devin's dog.
Lucky's my puppy. She's a puppy. She's an energetic puppy. She's a Shepherd Lab mix, and she's a black brindle. So she's black and then has all these like tiger stripes, but they're like light colored and white and well, all different colors, but they're like light brown, white, and very pretty. But I don't think I've ever seen another black brindle in person anyways.
So then I'm going to mix these two foundations together. Well, I guess they're technically both BB creams, but one's the Maybelline Dream Baby Fresh, and then the other one's the CoverGirl Clean Matte BB Cream for oily skin. And I mix these two because they're just slightly off for me, but mixed together, they're perfect. Plus one has a more natural finish and one has a more matte. So then it comes out a little bit nicer of a finish for me. But I just mix that on the back of my hand.
Okay, there we go. Nice. And I'm going to go in with concealer because you have to conceal your under eye circles so you look awake and alive and not like The Walking Dead.
And so people don't ask you if you're sick every day. And during COVID, you don't ever want to look sick. And so, because you don't want to give anyone the impression that you are.
No.
So I wear concealer. So that way I look nice and healthy and awake and alive, even when I'm tired and have been up all night with my dog. So.
All right.
And then I'm going to use just a little bit of the NARS Soft Matte in Creme Brulee to kind of conceal both my under eyes and just a couple little spots on my face because mask me is a real thing.
Now I'm just setting my face with powder and like the spots that I don't want it to budge. I'm not going to do everything because I'm going to put on bronzer and a cream blush. So I don't want to put the like cream on top of the powder. Yeah. So I recently finally bought this Honest Beauty blush, the cream blush in rose pink that I've heard so many awesome comments about and have been dying to try. And it definitely lives up to what people have been saying about it so far. And I like to use this little stippling brush. I don't know, I'm not that big of a brush person with like cream and liquid products, but for whatever reason, I like how the blush works with this. As it like, look, dots. I'm a cheetah. So.
Okay, that's not too shabby. It doesn't hide all my redness, but that's okay because I don't have perfect skin, so it's okay to not have perfect skin. And I'm okay with looking like that. I am going to do a little bit of powder. I do like setting my under eyes with a different brush than I do the rest of my face. And the Real Techniques has like the best little setting brush I found. It's this little pink one. And it comes both in a set, but it also comes individual. And I absolutely adore it for setting my under eyes. Then I don't know what powder you used. I'm going to use the Peach Perfect from Too Faced because, again, it's part of my project pan, and I'm going to try and use this thing up, which if you're going for bang for your buck, this has more product than almost any other powder I've ever seen, and it lasts for a very long time.
I was going to use that one.
35 grams. It's got 1.23 ounces, which for a powder is a lot of product.
I was going to use that one, but I ended up using the Maybelline Fit Me loose powder. And this is also great because it lasts forever and is like, what, $7?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Unlike, other products you have to buy all the time, that's one that you don't.
I finally did use up a powder. In the last few months, I used up the CoverGirl powder, and it's the first time I've ever used up a full powder before like giving up on that powder and moving on to the next one. Because normally it's like, I've used it long enough. I'll get a new one. And I finally sat down and said, no, this one's good. I'm going to use it all up.
I've gone through one of the Fit Me's already, and this is my second one. And I have this and the Peach Perfect that I use all the time. And those are the two that I use. Because you really don't need more than one powder unless you want tinted ones and like this one's tinted, and then the peach one is translucent. So you've got the two different options to go to.
I do like taking a pressed powder with me to work though, just so if I do want to touch up, it's a little bit easier than having like a loose powder, just because I feel like that makes a lot of mess on everything. Whereas a little pressed powder just is a little bit easier, although pressed powders tend to break more in your purse. So I guess it's a
win-lose situation.
Yeah. And then I'm going to use a blush from MAC in the shade Sweet Enough, and it's their matte mineralized blush. I've never tried any of their shimmery blushes, but I do love their little matte line that they have. And the Sweet Enough shade is just perfect.
Just sweet enough.
Yeah. Actually, this was one of the first like blushes that my husband, he goes, wow, you look really rosy today. And for my husband to say anything like that, it was like a huge, like, oh, he likes this blush. Like, I'm feeling good about myself. So
he likes it enough to compliment you. One of my favorite tips that I've learned, or recommendations, I guess, is this brush for bronzer. This brush for bronzer. Say that 10 times fast. The Eco Tools one. It's like $7 or $8. I have two of them.
I have the old version. Hold
this
that
one?
Up again.
And this one.
Okay, so they are different.
This one is the blending and bronzing, and this one is just bronze, but it's flat. Oh. And this one's rounded. It's like a dome. Okay. So this one I used to blend out the cream from Uma Beauty, the cream contour, and then I love this one for the powder because it like disperses it and doesn't just like give you a line. Because even though I'm that person that just dip and I just go straight in, which can make you look a little orange.
Yeah.
So I'm just putting some powder underneath that, on top of that, with the butter bronzer that everyone likes from Physicians Formula.
I just wish it didn't have such a strong scent. I feel like I would really enjoy it if it just didn't have as much of a scent to it.
But it smells like summer.
I'm going to use the Essence Pure Nude highlight, which is the best highlight that I have ever used. I've used it since I lived with Devin, and I absolutely adore it. Also, it never seems to die. I feel like I've barely made a dent in it, and I've been using it for years. I probably should just get a new one, but
it's like what, $3?
Yeah,
you won't get
$3, but it never. It just keeps going and going, and
it's the gift that keeps on giving.
It does. It gives me a glow without it being like super, super bright, and like she said, I don't like to be super, super shiny. A little bit of shine, and then a little bit under the brows just to highlight them.
All right, so my favorite blush bronzer at the moment. So I went full on shining to the moon, and then I liked the calmer bronzer, or what's it called? Highlight again. Highlight. So I've had this one for a while. It's the Lorac Moonlight, and it's just like a soft, like got a pinky tint to it, and it just makes you like glow. It's like an inner glow without shining to the moon and back. Like some of the other highlights do, which is great, but you don't always want to look like a disco ball. Or at least I don't. So, and I like to take it all over my face, and I love putting it right here above my, what is it, Cupid's bow.
Mm-hmm.
and because it just adds an extra like element to your lipstick when you put it on.
And then I'm gonna go in with the Too Faced Peach Puff in the shade Day Drinking. And just, it's kind of a matte moussey texture, but it's kind of a My Lips But Better color, just to add a little bit of color. And then because that is kind of a matte, I do like to follow up with a little bit of gloss. And because this is the best gloss, it is the Tiramisu by NYX butter gloss, and it's so comfortable and it's really reasonable priced. I don't like to say cheap because it is cheaper, but it's got a really great formula and it's super comfortable and I love it.
Yeah. See, I do my brows now after I've done bronzer, because if not, I just mess them up with the bronzer.
Oh, see, that's why I gel them in place.
Oh. I mean, I'm gonna gel them after. So I just like see, I don't do much with my eyebrows. I just have the e.l.f. Instant Brow $2 pencil in like taupe, because that's all you need. Because I go through it so fast. Yeah. I buy like 3 at a time. So I'm like, so I have it. And then I have this like random clear Milani gel that I just hold them in place. Just lightly. Just so they stay. Ooh. You're already on mascara? Oh man, I gotta catch up. All right.
Sorry.
So I'm gonna set my face before I do anything else, because I cannot set my face after mascara. And that's because I get mascara everywhere.
I did find a tip that if you're looking down when you're doing your mascara versus looking up or looking straight, you make less of a mess on your top lid, which for me, I will do anything if that's what it takes to not make a giant mess of mascara all over. Because my eyelashes get really messy if I'm not careful. In fact, I already have a little bit underneath, but I'll wait for that to dry before I try and get that off of there. I am going to go in with, so I first went in with the L'Oreal Air Volume Mascara, and I do like this. It's not my favorite of all time, but I do like it. Devin has tried it too, but not a fan.
No one has said anything about how it smells, and I'm like, is mine just bad or what? Because I have it right here, and I open it, and it's just like, I can't even describe the smell. It's just like, and it stayed like, I think it's gotten a little bit weaker, but when I first wore it the first couple times, like I could smell it like 5, 10, 20 minutes afterwards. I could still smell it. And I'm like, I already put it on my eyes. Like, what else do I do?
And then on my bottom lashes, because I've got little baby lashes on the bottom, I take the Wet n Wild, what is it called? The Skinny Mascara. This one's the waterproof version, which is nice because I've got really watery eyes. But I also do like their regular version as well. And they're reasonably expensive. They're like $3 or $4, especially if you can get them on sale. And at Ulta, you can always get a coupon. So I really like the price on them as well.
Those are inexpensive.
They're great. I am going to get that off my bottom lash though.
Right. So at my Sephora trip the other day, I got this Rare Beauty, what is it, the lip balm one? Dewy lip balm in Compliment, because I've been wanting to try them. And if I buy too many lipsticks at one time, they get neglected. And you need a new lipstick every once in a while. So you're like, new thing, new toy. So I'm going to wear that today.
And I'm currently on a no buy, or at least until March. I will not be buying any new makeup, just because I have more than I could ever use. And so at least until March, I'm going to do my best to not buy any makeup, just to kind of put more money towards saving. That is really pretty.
It is, but with the lip liner, I was not expecting it to go as well as it did with this lip liner too. Yeah, Compliment is my favorite color. So I was looking at the different colors that they had, and Compliment. I'm a mauve person, but this isn't mauve. It's like a reddish. Ooh, the lighting, I tell you. It's like a reddish color to it.
Yeah.
Like is it red?
It looks red on camera.
It does look red. But that might be because I mixed it with this liner that's more red.
It does look really nice on you, though.
I like it a lot. I've been really into red ever since Christmas, and I just want to wear red all the time, but masks. Because I'm not just going to wear red lipstick around the house. That's just weird.
And see, I haven't really been into colors basically since March, just because I wear a mask every day. And so, like, I throw on some lip balm, and I very rarely get to actually wear lipstick, because otherwise it gets all over my mask.
Oh, I like this color.
But which is really sad, because I have so many colors that I would love to play with more. And I probably should have played with one today, but I just...
You're a nude girl.
I really am. It works.
Yeah, it does. But this, okay, so it's more of a berry color, but it looks kind of redder, I feel like right now, because I mixed it with the more of a red lip liner, but I love it. And it feels a little more comfortable than the L'Oreal's, because we were comparing it to the L'Oreal ones, which is right here. And I think this one's a little more sticky. The L'Oreal one's a little more sticky and tacky, unless it's just mine. And since I've had this one for a while, it's more of like sticky, whereas this one's not sticky at all. It's really weird. It feels more like lip balm, but it's very pigmented. So it's really nice. I think these are going to be the new thing. So
calling it now. It's going to be the new thing.
Now. It's going to be what's next. And then I curl my eyelashes. Emily doesn't curl her eyelashes.
I do not. I don't curl mine.
And I take forever to put on my mascara.
I have very straight lashes. And so I just let them run with it, because if I curl them, they would go back into my my eyelid, and I just don't like that.
But I mean, okay, so this is my new favorite mascara, but it's super overpriced, and I would only buy it with a gift card because it's not my money. So my favorite mascara is actually the Princess Essence Lash Mascara, because it's $5. And mascara is the product that you're going to buy the most over and over and over and over again, because it gets old and it dries out and whatnot. But getting mascara off is like, I don't know, one of the worst things and one of my most dreaded activities all day. And this mascara is a tubing mascara, and I found it from YouTube. It's the Hourglass Unlocked Instant Extensions Mascara, and all you need is a rag and some warm water, and it comes off with no residue. I go to bed like every night with like mascara residue on that when I wear makeup, and this just none. Like I was like touching my eyelashes, and I was like, there's nothing on them. Like nothing. It's amazing. But I've never spent $29 on it, even though I love it. Unless it lasted. If it lasted like a year, that's one thing, but you're supposed to change your mascara every 3 months. Not that people do that, but
I do try, but that's also because I have so many mascaras that eventually they're all going to go bad if I don't replace them every 3 months.
Yeah. Well, you know what else is funny is like whenever you watch YouTube and people always have like the new like clean brushes and things, and I'm over here like my dirty brushes. Because who really is gonna sit there and wash their brushes as much as you're supposed to?
I try and do it every other week.
You really wash your brushes every other week?
I do. I sit and will watch Netflix while I wash my brushes on one of my days off. It's a real thing, because I have like really bad, if I don't, I feel like my face breaks out every time I like try not to wash my brushes. So at least every other week, my brushes do get a wash. And I do try and rotate brushes so that I'm not using dirty ones too often.
Well, also though, I'm like, I try to do the non-washing systems where it's like the dry thing where you like rub it on there and I'm like, oh, it's clean-ish, you know. And then if you have enough brushes and you have enough sponges, you can rotate. And so you just wash them all once a year. No.
The best sponges to do that with, I love these sponges, first of all, but you can also get a 6-pack for $18, and they're the Beauty Blender ones from Beauty Bakery. And they come in the cutest packaging. I'm gonna see if I still have the packaging. They come in a freaking egg carton. They're so cute.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think this one actually, oh yeah, this one's almost full. But you get 6 sponges for $18, which is $3 a sponge. Plus you can use a coupon most of the time. Exactly. Or you can find something, or you can wait till they go on sale. And they're the best deal.
Well, they're still $3 a sponge. It's $3 a sponge, whereas like Real Techniques is like not even that cheap, right?
No, I can't remember what Real Techniques run. I know the e.l.f. ones are $3 or $5 or something like that. So they compare to the e.l.f. pricing. And I do like the e.l.f. sponges as well. Those are pretty good if you can't get a Beauty Bakery.
Yeah. But more is better because then you wash less.
Then you do I do have a new sponge every day. I don't reuse sponges. So once I've used it once, I do get a new one.
Sure. Cool. Good for
because
you.
I have a jar of sponges that I just pick a new one out. But I also don't have great skin, so my skin does not appreciate using old sponges a lot of times.
My skin just has to get over it. Yeah. I can't get over the fact that like this looks this good without continuously building up my mascara. Because I also will do like 4 mascaras sometimes. And like
I do like that mascara on you. It looks very nice.
I really like it. And it's just so much easier. And slightly regret trying it now because I know how wonderful it is. And it's not in the price range that I want it to be. Because I'd so much rather pay $5 for mascara than $29. Again, I didn't pay for it. I used my birthday coupon and a gift card, but
I was gonna say, because now Hourglass is now at Ulta, so now you could use your points for it too.
Yeah, I had the $10 birthday coupon, and I used that with my birthday gift card that I had received, and I did not pay a penny for it. So thankfully, was not going to pay for it. Wanted it for a long time, and was not going to pay for it.
On that note, we'll see you in the next video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and got some entertainment out of it, and hopefully you guys got ready with us. So
hope you have a lovely day.
We'll see you guys in the next video, hopefully.
All right. Goodbye.